You ever feel like your own mind is your biggest enemy? Like every time you try to level up, something inside you whispers, sit down, you're not ready, listen. Those thoughts are not the truth, they're traps. And if you don't break them now, they will break you later. Today's video isn't motivation, it's a wake-up call. Because if you don't learn how to crush negative thoughts, they'll shape your entire life without your permission. Stay with me till the end. This might be the moment you take your power back for good. Listen up, because this right here is the point that separates the people who win from the people who wonder why they never win. If you don't learn how to crush negative thoughts on sight, you will spend your whole life reacting instead of creating, doubting instead of building, hesitating instead of executing. Negative thoughts are not harmless. They are not just thoughts. They're the seeds of every failure, every regret, every missed opportunity you've ever had. You don't wait for them to grow. You don't negotiate with them. You eliminate them before they become orders your body follows. Here's the truth. Your mind is a battlefield, and hesitation is how you lose ground. Most people sit around letting their minds throw garbage at them. I'm not ready. What if I fail? I don't know enough. I don't have the money. That's not thinking. That's self-sabotage. And if you don't crush those thoughts the second they show up, they will turn into negative behaviors, procrastination, quitting, hiding, shrinking, backing down from opportunities that could have changed everything. You ever seen someone freeze when they should have moved? That's what negative thoughts do. They paralyze, they poison, they command your actions without you even realizing it. You must become faster than your doubt. The moment a negative thought pops into your head, you shut it down with aggressive action. Not tomorrow. Not after I think about it. Right now. Negative thoughts only survive in people who stay still. Action eliminates fear. Action kills doubt. Action destroys hesitation. Action builds confidence. You want to be unstoppable. Start moving the exact second your mind tries to slow you down. Let me make this real for you. A guy wants to start a business, but the second he gets excited, here comes the mental trash. What if it doesn't work? What if people laugh? What if I lose money? And because he doesn't shut those thoughts down, he never launches, he never tries, he never builds. He sits on the sidelines of his own life. Meanwhile, someone else hears those same thoughts, and instead of listening, he picks up the phone, makes the call, files the paperwork, shoots the video, posts the product, sends the email. Before the negative thoughts even finish their sentence, he's already 10 steps ahead. That's domination. That's a 10 times mindset. That's the difference. Negative thoughts don't need to be solved. They need to be silenced. You don't analyze them. You don't debate them. You override them with actions so loud they get drowned out. And let me be crystal clear. If you don't crush your negative thoughts, someone else will crush your dreams. You think top performers sit around entertaining doubt? No chance. They act first. They deliver before they're ready. They move while everyone else is stuck in their head. You must learn to treat negative thoughts like alarms, not warnings to stop, but signals to go. If your mind says you can't, your answer should be, watch me. If your mind says it's risky, your answer should be that I'm doing it twice. If your mind whispers, slow down, you roar back, speed up. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the commander. And commanders don't negotiate with mental weakness. Crush negative thoughts immediately and you'll watch your life scale. Your confidence explode, your results multiply, and your identity transform. Wait even a moment, and the thoughts will take control of your actions. The world is built by people who act, not people who think about acting. So decide right now, from this moment on, every negative thought gets crushed the instant it appears. You're done obeying fear. You're done listening to doubt. You're done letting your mind slow down your mission. You move first. You act fast. You dominate relentlessly. That's how you win. That's how you 10 times your life. Negative thoughts don't die because you hope they disappear. They die because you starve them. You stop giving them oxygen. You refuse to entertain them, repeat them, or let them run their little drama show in your head. Doubt is like a parasite. It survives only if you keep feeding it your attention. Most people feed their doubts more than they feed their dreams. They replay fears. They replay failures. They replay what ifs. And then they wonder why their goals feel small, impossible, or distant. Your work's like a spotlight. Whatever you focus on gets bigger. If you focus on your goals, your mission expands. If you focus on your doubts, your fears expand. Simple rule, stop feeding the wrong wolf. When I say feed your goals, I'm talking about obsession level investment, not motivation, not good vibes, not yeah bro, one day. I'm talking about action, resources, energy, time, effort, sacrifice, poured directly into your targets. The more attention you give your goals, the smaller your doubts become. Why? Because the mind cannot obsess over growth and fear at the same time. One will dominate. One will die. Feed your goals with massive daily action, clear targets, high standards, immediate execution, no excuse. Commitments, big environments, bigger responsibilities. When you do that, doubt has nowhere to live, no space to grow, no room to survive. Look at the people winning at the highest levels. They aren't fearless. They just don't give fear any food. They stay too busy winning, building, scaling, moving. Meanwhile, the average person sits still long enough for doubt to throw a full party in their head. The formula is simple. Starve the doubt. Feed the mission. Every time you feel fear, insecurity, hesitation, don't sit with it. Move, execute. Do something that pushes your target forward. Doubt gets weaker when you get louder. Doubt dies when you get active. Doubt disappears when your goals become the only thing you answer to. You want to handle negative thoughts? Cool. Start by feeding your goals until your doubts can't breathe anymore. That's 10 times thinking. That's domination. That's how you win. Let's get straight to it. You can't think big in a small environment. You can't stay positive in a toxic environment. And you can't live at a 10 times level while surrounded by 1 times people. Your environment is not background noise. It is a system that programs your thinking, and negative thinking comes from negative surroundings. Simple, direct, undeniable. Most people don't have negative minds. They have negative environments training their minds to stay small, scared, and stuck. You want to eliminate negative thoughts. Cool. Start by eliminating the sources that create them. Your environment includes the people you hang with, the content you consume, the conversations you entertain, the habits you live, the energy around you, the standards you allow. If your circle is full of people who complain, gossip, doubt, fear, quit, and stay average, guess what you start thinking? Exactly that. Because environment always wins. Always. You cannot outthink a toxic environment. You cannot outmotivate a low-level circle. You cannot outwork friends who drag you back every time you try to climb. 10 times living requires a 10 times ecosystem. That means you surround yourself with builders, not doubters. With grinders, not complainers. With people who talk targets, income, discipline, and domination. Not excuses, fears, and cheap entertainment. Negativity needs a home. It needs a place to live. It needs other negative people to keep it alive. So when you upgrade your environment, negativity gets evicted. It physically can't exist where the standards are too high. Think about gyms. If you work out in a hardcore gym where everyone is lifting heavy, sweating, grinding, you naturally push harder. Put the same person in a lazy, quiet, soft gym. Suddenly their intensity drops. Nothing changed except the environment. Your mind works the same way. To build a 10 times environment, cut low energy people, block negative influences. Consume high performance content, create disciplined routines, keep your space clean and productive, surround yourself with ambition, stay close to people playing bigger games. When your environment operates at a high frequency, your thoughts rise with it. Fear doesn't survive there. Doubt doesn't survive there. Negativity doesn't survive there. A strong environment forces you to level up. A weak environment forces you to shrink. Most people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they live in environments that suffocate ambition. So you want to dominate your thoughts? Upgrade your surroundings? You want to think big? Live around people who make big feel normal. You want to stay committed? Stay around people who treat commitment like oxygen. A 10 times environment doesn't just help you. It transforms you. It shapes your identity. It boosts your confidence. It demands your best. And it leaves negativity with nowhere to hide. Make your environment so strong, so disciplined, so future focused that negative thoughts simply cannot survive in it. Most people think negative thoughts are signs to stop. Winners know they're signs to go harder. Negative thoughts don't mean you're weak, they mean you're expanding. They show up when you're entering territory you've never conquered before. And instead of freezing, instead of backing off, instead of letting fear tell you what to do, you flip it. You convert it. You weaponize it. Here's the truth. Negative thoughts aren't the enemy. Your reaction to them is. Average people feel a negative thought and immediately shrink. I can't do this. What if it goes wrong? I'm not ready. Then boom, the fear wins. They retreat. They play small. They sabotage themselves. But high performers, they hear the same thoughts and turn them into fuel. Oh, I'm scared. Good. That means this is big. Oh, I'm doubting myself. Good. That means I'm leveling up. Oh, this makes me uncomfortable. Perfect. That means it's worth doing. Negative thoughts become signals, not stop signs. If it scares you, it's an indicator. If it makes you uncomfortable, it's an opportunity. If it creates doubt, it's a doorway to a bigger version of you. Negative thoughts are simply your brain telling you you're entering new territory. Instead of running back to safety, you sprint forward into the challenge. Look at champions in business, sports, everything. They don't operate without fear. They operate in spite of it, and often they operate because of it. When a negative thought hits them, they don't crumble. They get aggressive. They lean in. They press the gas harder. Why? Because they know the simple rule: fear is fuel when you're focused. Negative thoughts can either drain you or drive you. If you let them drain you, you shrink. If you convert them, you expand. Think of it like a fire. Fear is the spark. You decide if it becomes a wildfire that destroys your confidence, or a powerhouse engine that launches your ambition. Your mindset is the switch. Every negative thought carries energy. You can either use it or waste it. How to flip the switch? When a negative thought shows up, don't pause. Don't analyze. Don't spiral. Immediately respond with action. Make the call. Send the email. Record the video. Launch the project. Move the body. Do something that contradicts the fear. When you act in the opposite direction of the negative thought, you break its power. Repurpose its energy. You turn fear into momentum. This is what monsters do. This is how confident people are built. This is how leaders are forged. They transform mental resistance into physical movement. Negative thoughts are a test. Are you controlled by fear, or do you control the fire inside you? You choose. You decide. You dominate. When you turn negative thoughts into fuel, your mind becomes unstoppable. Fear stops being a barrier and becomes a boost. Doubt stops holding you back and starts propelling you forward. Your weakness becomes your weapon. That's 10 times thinking. That's high performance psychology. That's how you rise above everyone else. Most people live inside their own head like uninvited guests, just watching thoughts float around and reacting to them like spectators. They're not in control. Their thoughts are. They sit and watch their mind like it's some random TV channel that plays fear, doubt, excuses, and negativity on repeat. And then they wonder why they feel powerless. Here's the truth. Nobody wants to hear. If you don't control your internal story will control you. Negative thoughts only dominate when you let the narrative run without leadership. Your mind is like a microphone. Whoever holds it controls the room. If doubt grabs the mic, you freeze. If fear grabs the mic, you quit. If insecurity grabs the mic, you shrink. You cannot operate at a high level while letting your mind broadcast garbage. You must take the mic back. You must rewrite the script. You must be the author, not the audience. Your thoughts are commands, not suggestions. Commands. Your brain isn't neutral. It responds to the language you use. If you tell yourself you're tired, you act tired. If you tell yourself you're not ready, you hesitate. If you tell yourself it's too risky, you hold back. But if you take control of the narrative and start directing your thoughts with precision, your actions shift immediately. Winners don't wait for it. Positive thoughts, they order them. They feed their mind the story they want to live. They speak with authority. I run this. I decide the outcome. I'm built for this. I'm going all in. I don't quit. I finish everything I start. That's not motivational talk. That's mental programming. Negative thoughts lose power the moment you talk back to them. You don't let fear finish its sentence. You interrupt it. You override it. You stay louder than the doubt. Your mind respects dominance. If you stay passive, it takes over. If you stay assertive, it follows you. Think about it. Every movie has a writer and an audience. The writer controls the direction. The audience only watches the outcome. Most people watch their life like an audience, reacting to whatever thoughts show up. But high performers grab the pen and rewrite the scene. You don't say, I hope I can. You say, I will. You don't say, what if I fail? You say, what if I dominate? You don't say, this is too big for me. You say, this is exactly my level. This is how you control the narrative. Practical domination moves. Speak to yourself with command, not confusion, and replace weak thoughts instantly. Declare your goals daily. Use aggressive affirmations. Keep your self-talk aligned with your actions. Never let your mind play victim stories interrupt every negative narrative the second it appears. When you take control of the inner conversation, the outer world stops pushing you around. You operate with clarity, confidence, and aggression. Your decisions sharpen. Your speed increases. Your results explode. Bottom line, you either write the story or you get written by the story. You're not the audience. You're the author. You're the director. You're the commander. Control the narrative, and your entire life will shift into a higher gear. Outwork every negative thought until your confidence becomes bulletproof. Let's get one thing straight. Confidence doesn't magically appear. It doesn't fall from the sky. It doesn't arrive after you feel ready. Confidence is built in the grind through repetition, discipline, and obsession. Most people let negative thoughts control them because they simply don't have enough evidence to believe in themselves. They haven't done the work long enough or hard enough to create unshakable certainty. See, negative thoughts are loudest when your activity is low. When you stay idle, doubt gets stronger. When you stay still, fear gets louder. When you stop moving, insecurity takes over. But when you work, when you grind, when you execute every single day, with consistency, negative thoughts get drowned out by momentum. Momentum is louder than fear. Progress is louder than doubt. Work ethic is louder than insecurity. When you outwork your negative thoughts, you leave them behind. Your action becomes your armor. Your discipline becomes your shield. Your results become your proof. You ever notice how people who are always grinding rarely talk about fear? Because fear can't keep up with a fast pace. Doubt can't chase someone who's moving too quickly. Negative thoughts can't catch a person who's obsessed with forward motion. This is the law. If you cannot kill the thought, outwork it. Outwork it so aggressively that it doesn't even get a chance to breathe. Outwork it so consistently that your brain starts trusting you more than it trusts your fears. Outwork it until your confidence becomes so strong that negativity has no influence left. Think about athletes who train every day. They don't wonder if they're good, they know they're good. Why? Because their work ethic built a mountain of proof behind them. You can't argue with your own consistency. You can't doubt what you've repeatedly conquered. Every rep strengthens your belief. Every action builds your identity. Every day of effort makes you harder to shake. You show me someone who lacks confidence, and I'll show you someone who isn't working enough. A person with momentum. A person letting their brain sit idle long enough for negativity to nest. The solution is simple. Not easy, but simple. Get so busy improving your life that doubt can't reach you. Wake up earlier. Stay focused longer. Push harder. Execute faster. Repeat the actions every day until your mind understands that you're not someone who backs down. You're someone who shows up. This is how bulletproof confidence is built. Through discipline, through consistency, through repetition, through massive action, through doing the work. Even when you don't feel like it, eventually negative thoughts stop arguing with you because they know they'll lose. Your track record becomes too strong. Your pace becomes too fast. Your standards become too high. You don't escape negative thoughts. You outgrow them. You outwork them. You outshine them. You outpace them. When you do this long enough, you become unstoppable, confident, unshakable, a machine. Someone whose belief is not emotional, it's earned. That's the level you want. That's the level you build. That's the level where negative thoughts can't even get close.